entrepreneurs, local and international business. The Be Smart Services Hot Seat goes behind the scenes to see what makes their business stand out from the crowd.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Klarissa from Be Smart Services, and today we are joined by Dr. Jasper Coetzee from Amtech. Jasper, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us and our viewers this afternoon. A very warm welcome to you.
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Jasper. Jasper, you're the passionate and very talented founder of Amtech. You develop physical asset management leaders, and you also provide training in maintenance principles. Am I correct? Can you give our viewers a quick summary of your background and also of your achievements?
Yes, I started I was in the maintenance industry or the asset management industry. Then now, in the old days, it was known as maintenance. The asset management industry. I started as an apprentice, and in practice I went up to the top posts in asset management. And then I left, and then I started what now became Amtech. It was first Amtech, just an M standing for maintenance, and now Amtech for asset management technology. My own achievements, I started when I was in practice. I realized that the engineering degree that I had was not sufficient. And so I augmented that with a commercial degree first to be able to manage better. And then I also augmented that with an honors degree in industrial engineering, so as to improve my ability to understand failure and all the things related to that, so that one can manage that properly. And then when I left the industry and started Amtech, I fairly immediately, I started realizing that the industry really needs training in this field. And in that process, I was involved with various universities. For instance, in the 90s, I joined the University of Pretoria on a full-time basis for 6 years, while Amtech was still going on. And in that process, I had to study further, and I got a master's degree and eventually a PhD in industrial engineering in the field, in asset management related subjects. Yeah, and I got awards for my contribution in the field. For instance, by the South African Maintenance Association, and I'm also a fellow of the International Society of Engineering Asset Management. I think that's enough about me.
Wow, that's amazing, Jasper. That is very amazing. And you've really achieved a lot through the years that you've been involved in asset management. And that's very, very good achievement. Thank you so much for sharing that with our viewers. And Jasper, you've mentioned that this industry really needs training. So can you elaborate a little bit about this training for us? Why would you say that it's important to do asset management for a business, for example?
Industrial businesses, and if I say industrial businesses, I include factories like petrochemicals and chemicals and manufacturing of goods, cars, mining, etc. All of that, all of them are heavily dependent on the maintenance of their facilities, and now to be able to do that, because it's quite advanced facilities, to be able to do that properly, one needs to understand exactly what you're doing. And by that, I'm not just meaning that of course, you must understand the technology itself. So you must be able to repair a machine, for instance, that you have. But what is critically important is that you must be able to manage it properly. You must be able to set strategies for maintaining preventively maintaining the equipment. Now that you only get through specialized training, and that's really what we're doing, or what we have been doing now for just on 30 years. What we've now also embarked on, if you see on my screen, you will see, I think my name is a little bit over it. It says 7 assets of asset management program. We now decided to also have a program where maintenance leaders or asset management leaders can take their own initiative and improve their businesses such that it becomes really very efficient. The problem with most asset management businesses is that because, as I said, I realized that my engineering degree did not really prepare me for it. So what this does is this really brings the asset manager to a position where he or she really understands the field very well and really become an asset management professional, and can thus improve the capability of the organization's asset management program tremendously.
Wow, that's very interesting, Jasper. Thank you so much for sharing that with our viewers. And I think you've really mentioned a couple of very important pointers there for us. And I've also realized while looking at your graph that you divided into 7 assets of asset management. Can you elaborate on those 7 points a little bit for us, please?
Yes, the picture is behind me on my left, I believe. What this the 7 assets, the first one is the development of asset management skills in the people of the organization. I'm just going to list them shortly. The second one is to equip the business with technology. Of course, when you maintain such fancy, complicated machinery, you need quite complex technology behind it as well. So that is the second one. The third one is that you must have a proper CMMS. We call it visibility and plannedness. You will see that we have an acronym for it, which is develop. So visibility and plannedness fits nicely into the V of develop. And then the next E is engineered logistics. That is that you are very efficient, that your asset management process runs like a clockwork. That's what it essentially entails. And then the fifth one is lifecycle management, and that is that you manage the life cycles of all the equipments in the organization very well, that you understand that, and that you do the right maintenance to it, and that you also are on top of when to replace equipments and so on. The sixth one is that the organization must be very systemized, must be very organized, very systemized. And that means that you have to have all the strategies in place, all the ways in which you do your processes and so on. All of that must be in place. So that's quite a big thing, that. And then the last one is the proficiency of personnel, and that is that personnel must be able to do the work in the way it should be done. And that means that, for instance, the artisan must be able to do the actual work on the machines. The supervisors must be able to must understand even more than they, so that they can give them leadership. Engineers must understand the relationship between various parts of the organization and so on. So that's really what that entails. But now that is now the 7 assets, and all of them involves, to a lesser or larger extent, it involves things that must be in place. Of course, a strategy is not necessarily a thing, but if we could call that a thing. But the thing is, to get all of these 7 things in place, one needs to have certain processes. And our 7 assets of asset management program runs over a year, and intends then to improve the ability of asset managers to be able to put these 7 things in place through processes that we give them, timelines and so on, so that they can do it exactly, and that they can improve, also do it in a phased manner.
So Jasper, you did mention that this training that you give to your students are just over a year. You did mention that the training are for companies, and who else can apply for this? Can individuals apply for this training as well?
Let me just say, I just want to reiterate that we have a whole training program for people in industry. So we have some 25 courses that we present, and we have 6 diplomas that we present to people in industry. And then we now have the 7 assets of asset management program, which is a year program. Organizations can enroll their people, but also individuals. And in actual fact, for individuals, we have very special payment programs and so on, because it's not always so easy. And even we tend to help them when they cannot afford it properly and so on.
Right. That's very valuable information. Thank you, Jasper. That's good to know. So for your individuals out there, if you want to enroll, please contact Jasper so that you can talk to him and make sure you enroll in one of his courses. So one of my other questions is, Jasper, does your company do online training, or is it hands-on training as well?
Well, if you say hands-on training, do you mean in-class training?
Yes, practical. Yes.
Yeah. We always, our courses, this 7 assets of asset management program is now fairly new. Let me just say something about the background of that while I'm talking about that. We always helped organizations through consultation to improve their asset management situation, and that same processes that we did through consultation, we've now carried over into the 7 assets of asset management program. But traditionally, before COVID, we only did in-class training. So all our training was in class. But then after COVID, of course, it changed completely, and now we have a hybrid program. So most of our courses run both in class and online at the same time. So it's one class group. Some of them are online and some are in class. Sometimes we still get maybe a small group that sits only in class, and then we have quite big groups that only does online training. So we have, for instance, a big corporate client that they nowadays prefer online training.
That's great. Thank you so much, Jasper. So everybody is catered for. Jasper, if there's any of our people in the audience who wants to reach you, where can they reach you? Can you give us a bit of contact details?
Yes, I think the easiest way is to give maybe a web address or two. The college is the Terratechnica Asset Management College, and that can be reached at terratechnica.com, and all the information is there. And then for Amtech, it is amtech.co.za, and again, all the information is there.
Great. Thank you so much, Jasper. So everyone, there you have it. There's Jasper's contact information. Like he mentioned, everything is there on the website. So if you want to get going, enroll in a course, you know where to go. And Jasper, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Thank you for the valuable information that you shared with us. And thank you for the opportunity once again to show all of our viewers how important lifelong learning actually is and how we can make a difference in the industry that we are. Thank you so much, Jasper. Thank you for your time, and we'll definitely speak to you again soon. I'm Klarissa from Be Smart Services. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Be Smart Services podcast. Subscribe to Be Smart Services by Klarissa on YouTube for inspiring interviews with local and international business owners.